More than 13 million people across the European Union were still looking for work in February 2026. The absolute number hides a lot of movement underneath. At the top, Finland is alone above 10%, as it climbs to its highest in 2 decades. In contrast, Spain drops below 10% for the first time since the 2008 crisis. Foreign workers now make up about 17% of those working or seeking work. Sweden eases gently in winter, as interest rate cuts feed through and construction begins to recover. Greece falls then bounces back up in February, as around 45,000 people re-enter the labor force seeking summer work. France stays roughly flat, with the labor force still expanding. Denmark dips in December, then climbs even more sharply in January, as Novo Nordisk's November layoff round flows into the rate. Luxembourg edges up in February, after Amazon's regional headquarters cut nearly 400 jobs. This is the largest single-employer cut in 20 years. Some of those workers had 3 months to find new work or leave the country, so not all of them showed up as unemployed. In the Baltics, Latvia falls slightly at the end, even after a January security law dismissed Belarusian and Russian citizens from critical infrastructure. Lithuania, just next door, falls in January then rises slightly in February, as manufacturing sheds workers at its fastest pace since 2010. Belgium stays nearly flat, with first-quarter dismissals hitting a 5-year high. Also in the Baltics, Estonia falls slowly through the window, as Rail Baltica construction is underway and defense spending ramps up. Romania falls then holds steady, while a January reform cut tens of thousands of public sector posts. Austria fell in January, then rose back up in February. Like Spain, Portugal hovered near its lowest level since 2002. Slovakia stays flat through the window. Italy reaches its lowest level since 2007, partly because fewer Italians are in the labor force. This pattern of long-time lows is visible across southern Europe. Ireland stays flat, with pharma expanding while information technology loses jobs. Hungary climbs slowly to its highest in a decade. Croatia falls to a record low, with foreign workers filling jobs and growing the labor force. Likewise, Cyprus is at its lowest since the 2008 financial crisis. The Netherlands rises slightly at the end, with reorganizations spreading across banking, tech, and consumer goods even as bankruptcies fell. Germany ticked up to 4% and stayed there. Industry continues to lose jobs, while defense and infrastructure spending start to fill the gap. Slovenia descended the fastest in the window. Still, around 40,000 people there are looking for work. Malta rises slightly. Carlo Gavazzi is closing its electronics factory after nearly 40 years and shifting production to Mexico and China. Czechia wobbles, with industry tightly coupled to Germany. Poland stays flat at the floor, but job vacancies dropped by 70% compared to a year ago, the worst in over 15 years. And Bulgaria also stays at a record low. In January, 3.1 was the lowest reading in the EU, matching Czechia's December low. At the bottom, Bulgaria, Poland, and Czechia were tied at 3.2. At the top, Finland was alone above 10%, while the EU average stayed at 5.9%.